You won't believe what just went down in Anambra. Peter Obi showed up late at night at a campaign rally, and the whole place went wild. Wait till you hear the reason behind it. Peter Obi, the Labour Party's 2023 presidential flag bearer and former governor of Anambra, made an unexpected appearance in Ogbunike on Tuesday night. Nobody saw that coming. He came out to throw his full support behind George Moghalu, the Labour Party's governorship candidate, who's set to face off with Governor Chukwuma Soludo in the November 8, 2025 election. The atmosphere was electric. Obi spoke about rebuilding the economy, restoring security, and pushing forward the Obidient movement once again. Supporters couldn't hold back their excitement. It felt like hope was alive again. Now the big question is, could this surprise move shake up the entire Anambra race?
So we apologize. And what even when you put Anambra, a class, and they can end up with it. Open a ton of reference. I would have done anybody has seen. Now, my effort in Anambra State. A ton of reference. So, no time with Abu. I think we don't know about ready for that. I didn't go for education. If I couldn't die, George Moghalu to be if I get an education. Anything you go here, wrong, who you know. Can't drive, your process. Yes, and education is. Why don't you go to school? If I get a group now, leadership of that compassion. Leadership the way woman says. Leadership the way care for them money. Other than labor, fight the good again. Oma, one of the need that is and a job. Nobody come around to labor. Several times as governor. We got visited to my school. It's just the Monicas. They got to change to leave here. Yes, so one I can. Etta Godi, even though they know you, it's a woman, James, Saka school very lazy. Even in a change, nobody gets to run a government. Nobody can be run a flying. Yes. I don't know. Okay, well, you can open it up visible. I put on your TV. I don't have that. Yes. Oh, if I make for life, above all, I have compassion on me. Whatever I know, not even George Moghalu, the deputy a competent, where the compassion and the compassion. I cannot require for governors. I buy a job. Now you're going to Nigeria today. For Burodima, and they care from double money. I have a government idea. I can't make a new. Nobody cares about this program. George Moghalu was good. Today, as of the election, look at them and they go vote. I didn't go for 2 months. Yes, sir. I was going to go to I don't know. Actually, I'm making it. I will go to the because I have 20,000. You want to have 200,000. What does he not give me for now? Only 1 naira. Well, 20, 100 times you can. We let that vote. We are not bacon. Oh, good. The way you live in Kenya, very good. When you are to enter, one vote every day. If I talk on Nigeria, I don't know. If I talk on Anambra, I don't know. Who might go to school again? Education is the most important investment you can do in any society, in any human being life. And that is what we are offering you. So thank you. Thank you. I'm going to be back now. I'm going to be with them. I'm going to be late. And I went sick for lateness. Anything you fool them there, I go late. I go late.
Where are the gay? Where are the gay? Where are the gay? Your presence alone, for so many people, with the presence of warrior. Yes.
Governor Charles Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State has warned against election rigging during the November 8th governorship election in the state. Soludo disclosed this while alleging that some opposition have written election results ahead of next month's poll. Speaking during his campaign rally in Oka, the governor warned that those who have written election results will not get away with it. We'll have a video actually when he was making those presentations. Let's get the video in.
I'm saying 13 local governments where they said they will write the results and bring it in. We will be waiting for them and be clapping for them on that day to write the results and bring. Nobody has ever done that. If you do that successfully and leave Anambra, we will give you an award. And people determined, organized, no force on earth can thwart their will. They say they have written the results. They are going to import thousands of thugs into Anambra to be able to thwart the people. Are they going to overwhelm us? No! We are waiting. We are following them. We know what they are planning. We know who they are planning with. We know when they want to come. We know how they want to come. We are waiting for them. November 8th, let them come and practice it in Anambra.
Meanwhile, the African Democratic Congress ADC governorship candidate in Anambra State, John Chukwuma, has accused Governor Chukwuma Soludo of using local government funds to influence voters ahead of the November 8 governorship election. Nwosu alleged that the All Progressive Grand Alliance (APGA) led administration was coercing communities to make donations to support Soludo's campaign, describing the action as a clear breach of the Electoral Act 2022. We still have with us in the studio Press Francis Chilaka, a political analyst, and also Elvis Eli Mehile, also happens to be a political and public affairs commentator, still join us here. And from Oka, Anambra State, we have been joined by Barrister Clem Agui, who happens to be a public affairs analyst and also a former local government council chairman of Njikoka local government area in Anambra State. And from Abuja, we have Ochuma Ejiga Benjamin, a lawyer and a public policy consultant. Good morning, if you can hear me. Good morning, Barrister Ejiga Benjamin.
Good morning, and it's my pleasure being part of this program.
All right, Barrister Clem Agui, good morning, if you've joined the conversation. Barrister, I would like to start out with you, Barrister Clem Agui. What is really happening in Anambra State? In one breath, the governor of the state is saying that some people have already penned down the result of the election that will come up on the 8th of November. And in another breath, he's been accused of using local government funds to influence voters and all that. Help us actually work around this, because I know you've actually played, within the political space in Anambra State as a former local government council chairman.
Thank you very much. One, a lot is happening in Anambra State this time around. The political atmosphere is charged, and we're waiting for November. According to November, because it's Soludo's day to history in Anambra State, because that election is not just an election, it's going to be a referendum of his 3 years and more, 4 years in office, and we will have to decide. We've heard about the speculations about people saying that they're going to write the result, they can win at all costs, and we're waiting for them, like the governor said, to come into Anambra State and write the result, and then win the result outside the mandate of the people. But what we have asked is, let there be free, fair, credible elections where the people's votes will count. And it's also disheartening that at this point in time in our history, people are still not seeing the stupid ideas that they can just phantom result and write the result and win at all cost, because maybe you think you are connected to the INEC or to the federal government or to whomever you think you are connected. It is the people's vote we're talking about. And coming to what was said by the ADC candidate, I don't like it when politicians talk from the two sides of their mouth. He said that the government of the day is using local government funds for election. And again, he said that communities are being coerced to donate to the governor's campaign. I mean, that's ridiculous. If the communities are being coerced to donate to the governor's campaign, why is he using local government funds at the same time to conduct the election? My own community, where I came from, has a check already for the governor, and we're begging him to come. We're not even getting a pay for him to come, because we want to donate to his campaign, because we love the work he's doing. We love the direction where he's taking a number to. And the people of Enugu are waiting for him, begging him to come, so that we can endorse him and also donate to the campaign. Because you see, when a man is doing very well, and people want to be part of it, they want to be part of it because they want to be part of that history.
Now, when you say that he's doing very well, Barrister Clem Agui, if he's really doing very well, like you pointed out, then the political space in Anambra will not be tense. We will not see people who are trying actually their best to occupy that position. If you say he's doing very well, he would have come out of being, presented to the people on the polls.
Are gamblers. They're like addicts. They only want to gamble and try their luck, even though they know that they're not going to even win their polling unit. You see politicians permutating like the typical gambler you see in the betting stock. So that's the way it is in politics. And I'm not equally opposed to the fact that there are people who are contesting and competing. I mean, that is normal and expected in democracy. Okay. When I say the political atmosphere in Anambra is that, of course, election is like a Christmas season. When it comes, whether there is money in your pocket or no money in your pocket, the Christmas season is there. That atmosphere changes. The Ramadan comes. So the same thing with election. People are
Clems, let me stay with you. Barrister Clems, let me stay with you. If you watch the video that we just played in the course of the intro, the governor came across as someone who is already jittery, Did you read that in his body language when he said, look, people that they say they are coming, we are waiting for them, we'll congratulate them, if they do it successfully and leave Anambra, he came across as someone who is jittery and at the same time issuing a threat. What's your interpretation of governor's body language in all of that?
To come to Anambra State and the right result and then get away from Anambra State, then you're welcome. Come and do that. The people are there. People are ready to vote. People are ready to make sure that their vote counts. People are ready to make sure that what was declared is what they voted for. So if you think you can do otherwise, welcome. We'll congratulate you. Now we'll clap for you. Come and do it now. If you think Anambra is a place where you come and do whatever you like and then go away, then come. Personally, we are waiting for you. You are
merely repeating what
it doesn't signify. You can see the sarcasm in that word.
Okay.
It means that you cannot do any kind of stuff you want to do that is illegitimate and illegal in Anambra State and get away with it. You cannot.
Okay.
Anambra State is the standalone election, and the people of Anambra State understand how their elections are conducted. And people of Anambra State knows how they vote in the election. And this Anambra is not a place where you will come and say you do any kind of things or mago and then get away with it. No, not Anambra State.
Okay, these people that we are talking about, you know, do you by chance read the governor's mind? Could it be the party at the center? You know, because they have been saying, look,
I wouldn't be reading the governor's mind. I'm from Anambra State.
Okay.
And what I've heard, we hear things, we see things happening.
Okay, so what have you heard? What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah,
where do you think this threat is coming from?
For example, let me tell you.
Okay.
You see, we have had some of these people when they go for their meetings, and instead of discussing issue-based politics, that's what they're going to do. They're talking about how they have a federal might and what they can do with the federal might. I mean, we know where these things are coming from.
Okay.
And it's not as if we're strangers to all these kind of things. But one thing is to have to be delusional. One thing is to think you can do this. But then another is your ability to do that thing you think you can do. What we're saying is this: Anambra State people knows what they want, and they are banking on the fact that I need to be respectful enough to respect the wishes of the people.
Okay.
Anambra is Abga land. Abga is Anambra.
Okay, so what the governor is doing is just to raise the red flags, you know, to one INEC, one
the governor is not raising red flag. The governor is advancing because of free and fair election.
All right.
The governor is advancing because of electoral reform, whereby the people vote will be respected. The governor is not saying, I must win this election. I must not win this election. The governor is saying that the vote of the people must count and the people's mandate must be respected.
Interesting point. Thank you so much, Barrister Clem. Let's take this to Abuja before bringing it back to the studio. Barrister Ochoma Ejago Benjamin, what do you make of that particular statement by the Anambra State Governor? Also, just suppose the fact that I think October 25th was the date INEC slated to conduct a mock, you know, there in that state, so that they will make sure that they have, you know, make sure that the upgraded bimodal voter accreditation system is working, and people of that Anambra also should get ready for the transmission of results to be done electronically after the November 8th election. I would like you to unmute your microphone or the mic of your device if you can hear me. You can go ahead if you've done that.
Okay. Thank you for having me once more. And I would like to go straight to the point. The governor has expressed his fear. And what he said is very, very important when you look at the antecedents of our off-cycle elections. For instance, in Kogi State, it was glaring, and even INEC admitted it, that election results was written even before the election. The evidence was there, and they even announced that there was going to be a rerun. Then they did a U-turn. Rerun was never done. Told the losers to go to court, and we all know the outcome all the way to the Supreme Court. So when you look at that, you look at Edo State, the fear being expressed by the governor cannot just be trivialized. It is real in our polity. Now, having said that, I would like to say that the backbone of all of this still boils down to the Electoral Act that we are operating. It is the same Electoral Act that was used in the last general election and other off-cycle elections. And prior to the elections, we were promised heaven and earth by the INEC that results were going to be transmitted electronically. That gave a lot of us confidence, and we went all out to exercise our franchise. But what happened? INEC turned around and said that is no longer going to be done. and they resorted to manual transmission. And by doing that, they took us back 20 years in our electoral history. Now, what I mean by manual transmission is election results being written in longhand on paper, the Form EC8 being transported by Okada, the National Union of Road Transport Workers, by taxi all over the place. And the simple truth remains that in that process, these results can easily be swapped. And that was what played out in Kogi State, in Edo State, in the general election. In the name of a glitch, the whole electronic transmission was swept aside for the presidential election that brought President Tinubu into power. That is what we are talking. So what is our assurance that electronic transmission is going to be adhered to in the coming election?
So when you say what is the assurance, we have the new INEC chairman, Anambra, promising Nigerians that he's going to look into that particular glitch that happened. And also we're getting also from the Director of Voter Education and Publicity, Victoria Temesi, telling Anambra people that the mock is just for them to make sure that everything is in place for the electronic transmission of the result. That's Anambra State gubernatorial result after the election on November 8th.
Okay, thank you. Like I said, the backbone is the Electoral Act. Okay. It is that same Electoral Act that we used for the general election that brought President Tinubu into power, that brought Governor Dodo into power, that brought Okwebolo in Edo State into power. It is that same act that we are still using.
Thank you so much.
Not been, yeah.
All right,
it is that same Electoral Act we are still using. It has not been amended. Now, we have a new INEC chairman. He is the leader of INEC, but the institution remains the same. And the backbone of INEC is the Electoral Act.
Thank you so much.
The promise that we had prior to the last general election is even more than the promise they are giving us now.
Thank you for that point. Thank you so much, Barrister Benjamin, for that point. We'll have to bring it to the studio because of press for time. Mr. Prince Francis Chilaka, what do you have to say about this? Because when Barrister Clemagi was talking, you were giggling. And also, let's remember that during the, inauguration that happened, the commissioning of projects that happened in Anambra State, Soludo single-handedly come up to say that APGA does not have any presidential candidate, and he is, supporting the president, the incumbent, for his return in 2027. So are we seeing, some persons at this point in time trying to renege on their promise, or maybe whatever thing they must have discussed behind closed doors and give this particular seat to someone else?
Fina, you know why I was laughing? I was laughing because suddenly Soludo has found himself in a hole. And usually we say there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but this tunnel doesn't have a light at all, not even a candle light. You know, when Soludo, I think 2 months back or so, publicly endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he talked about the wonderful things the president was doing and all of that. I asked that question, and I will ask that question again. I said to Soludo then, I said, you are endorsing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the candidate of ABGA. Do you also realize that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's party, the APC, has a candidate in your state? And a lot of people came after me. Oh, you shouldn't have said. I said, but it's playing out, because if you are saying that the people are writing results, come out openly and tell us. You do not expect that ADC, Labour Party, they don't have the instrument to write results. So the people writing the result, which we know, is the APC. So you should come out and tell us who is writing the results. Now he has found himself in cul-de-sac and he doesn't know what to do anymore.
So wasn't that some kind of quid pro quo, for Soludo? You give me, I give you.
In what way?
Yeah, I mean, do you expect
that a Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as the leader of APC, will sit idly and allow a Soludo to win governorship election in that state?
Probably with the agreement that when you win, you move on.
Among politicians, there's no agreement. There's no agreement. Let us be sincere and honest with ourselves. It's about interest. As it is right now, Soludo has seen the handwriting on the wall. So he's jittering.
Okay, so that
I was thinking that when Soludo endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as ABGA's consensus candidate, I was expecting that by now he would have decamped to APC. That was a very wrong move. If he doesn't know, it was a wrong move. Because a Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not support a Soludo against his own party's candidate.
All right, thank you so much, Prince Francis. Let's get your opinion, Mr. Elvis, please, before.
Yeah, the issue there is, like the barrister said from Abuja, is the electoral reform. If we have electoral reform, as they told us in 2022-2023 that the result were going to be transmitted electronically and there was going to be minimal human interference, all these issues that we are talking about, somebody is writing result, would have arisen. Nobody would have been afraid or jittery. But unfortunately, the politicians know where they have to take the truth away from the people, because they know too well that many of them that are sitting there cannot win election. So they will leave those gray areas in those electoral reform. Before the 2023 election became something that everybody had to start going to the court, nobody actually knew that there was still a clause that INEC has the discretion to talk about the method they are going to use to collate electoral result. Until we got to the court now started interpreting that yes, it's INEC that has the prerogative to say, oh, we are going to do it manually or we are going to do it electronically. That was a gray area that was not known between Nigerians when we were hearing that, oh, 2023 general election is going to be transmitted into IREB and everybody is going to start seeing the result as soon as from the polling booth to the ward and all that, but we never saw that. Here we are now. You saw what happened in Edo State. Was there really an election in Edo State? So if Soludo is already afraid of the result that is going to come out in Anambra, he is only drawing inference from what happened in Edo State and what happened in Kogi State. And it is not going to stop here. You just made mention of Soludo endorsing Bola Ahmed Tinubu for 2027 general election. Let me tell you, it's a very that's a banana peel. He's stepping up. We saw it in 2003 in this nation, 2003, when PDP and AD came together and AD said they were going to endorse PDP presidential candidate, that's Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. And what happened? Just that singular act, they lost 5 states in the southwest. Only this president, when he was governor there, that survived it as AD governor. So that this same president knows all these intricacies. He knows all these political secrets and intrigues. He knows them. So anybody that is endorsing Tinubu because I want to remain in my state so that I'm going to win, you are making mistake. If it doesn't sit well, unfortunately, he's only threatening. He doesn't have the armed forces.
Elvis, between you and Prince Chilaka, are you of the opinion? Are you telling Nigerians that Anambra is already taken by the APC?
Except God intervenes, and these people have to come out more forcefully and be vigilant. At one election, you saw when there was no coalition at the ward. Then they have to move to INEC head office in Benin. Is it done? Even when they went to the court, did the court see that as an aberration? They didn't see it as an offense. Today, is it not the way they want it that has happened in Edo? So something of that nature can still happen in Anambra if care is not taken. So the governor should just go and, like we say in Nigeria, here we're very good at doing fasting and prayer. If you do more fasting and prayer and because some of those things that God has already answered for us, we go back.
Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe because this political drama is just getting started.